Okay, so ASU is standing by this, and back in 2013, the federal government had actually paid about $200 billion to an account in central bank to achieve this. But Dr. Ezekrisili, recently you spoke to the media, and you felt that ASU's demands are unrealistic. Why do you feel they're unrealistic?
Well, you know, I think that the issues that ASU raises concerning improving our university system are very germane to what you need to discuss in an economy and society like ours. I find the solutions, however, rather unrealistic. The reason that I maintain that the solutions proposed by ASU are unrealistic is because I do not think that we have had the kind of conversation that would enable us solve structural problem in a structural way.
According to you, over the years, that there are core issues that need to be addressed in education before you begin to throw a lot of money into it. So what are those? Because some people say that you had an educational master plan when you were a minister, and back in 2007 you were involved in a situation not unlike this one. So what was the plan then?
So you recall that any conversation between ASU and the federal government had completely broken down by the time I was appointed Minister of Education half year into 2006. And one of the first priorities that I gave to myself, even though it was hardly a year before government was going to come to an end, was to work with ASU as in a strong partnership to really get a good grasp in an analytical and empirically driven manner the issues we needed to tackle. And some of these issues were clearly not just funding issue. The funding is the tail end of the story.
So if we were to take
the key issues that you needed to deal with, you needed to discuss issues of governance and structure of the university system in the country, in terms of partnership, in terms of participation in the tertiary education in the country. What is the role of government? What is the role of the users of tertiary education? What is the role of the private sector? What is the role of the federal, state, and local? You needed to get a better grasp of that in a federal system. Then we needed to look at the issues of faculty. Key to the performance of any university system is academic distinction and scholarship, as well as academic research. We needed to get a grasp of what kind of quality of faculty did you need in an emerging economy environment in order to enable the kind of learning outcomes that would make education, the product of education, relevant to the wider society, especially the economy. You needed to look at the deployment of technology. You needed to look at the physical infrastructure in the university system. You needed to look at issues of resource accountability and performance. You needed to look at the issues of regulatory systems to underpin the way that the tertiary education system functions in the country, and many other issues that are important. Now, in looking at all of that, you'll be guided by a lot in terms of benchmarking, in terms of analytical comparabilities, and you also needed to understand that the conversation with ASU has always been on the basis of a unionized approach at solving university
Let me just
education.
take a little comment from Dr. Fabian here. I think at the root of the problem, we have a basic education. And if you can very quickly answer this before we take a break. Lots of people, you have about 1.7 million annually who try to get into the universities. And yet, the spaces that are available are very few. So isn't that even where the problem begins?
Well, thank you.
If we can get a very quick answer on that.
I wouldn't want to say that is where the problem begins, because if we really want to address the challenge of education in Nigeria, we have to go back to the roots. It appears we are looking at a symptom, and the main issue is being left out. we have to go back to the roots to really address what is the interest we are placing on the basic education, as you rightly say.
Well, we'll have to take a break now. But when we come back, I will come back to you, Dr. Benjamin, and we'll look at those things. And in addition to that, we'll also look at some of the other efforts that have been made in the past to rectify tertiary education in Nigeria. So do not go away. We'll be right back.